right. All right, folks. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Time to get the show started. All right. Hey, and good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We come to you each and every day, Monday through Friday, to talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. And I want to welcome you all to the show today. It's a Monday. It's the Monday after, or the ending day after EDC. And for those of you who are here this weekend for the Electric Daisy Carnival, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you are probably not going to work this morning, and employers are all saying, "Well, how come Susie or Billy or whatever is not going to be here today?" Well, Electric Daisy Carnival. I want to welcome everybody who is joining us on Facebook. I'm going to go over here right now and make sure our page is all functioning and stuff like that. We've got a pretty good crowd of people that watch us on a daily basis on our Facebook pages. Also, if you're checking us out on, everybody's up early this morning. If you watch us on YouTube, we really encourage you. If you're on YouTube, right below me, right here, right about right there, there is that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, folks, and make sure that you get updated on everything that we do here on Livin in Vegas. And we'd love to, because we update stuff all the time. We really do, and now as time's getting more and more stuff that we're doing, we'll talk about that in a little bit too. You'll really want to keep up with what we're doing, really do, because we just added something else to our repertoire of things that we're doing. So I want to welcome everybody who's on Facebook. So definitely do, if you get a chance, you're on Facebook, you'd like to say hello, just go ahead, say hello. We'd love to give you a shout out if you got a business. This might be the first time you're joining us for the show. So I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the guy who yawns incessantly throughout the show. I don't know why I do that, but maybe it's a nervous thing. I'm pretty sure it is. But if you're this first time you're joining us for Livin in Vegas podcast, I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, and the current magazine is out. We want to make sure everybody knows about what's going on with our friends over at Junk Luggers. Some of our advertisers in the magazine. Definitely go and check it out, folks. Go to livininvegas.com. You can check it out. And you can actually, not only that, but you can actually, I'm also the publisher of Livin Weekly magazine. So Livin Weekly magazine is out. That just came out. This is the current Livin Weekly magazine. And on the front cover, it's Kelsey Plum. We're going to talk about her in just a minute, because they had a fantastic game this weekend. The Las Vegas Aces. Those are my girls. Sorry again. Those are my girls, Las Vegas Aces. So definitely want to check out that magazine and see what's going on with the world of the Livin world. What's called the Livin world. Okay, because we have a lot of stuff that we're working on. Let's pay a couple of bills here, folks, and we're going to get on with the show because we've got so much stuff going on. Here we go. Hi, it's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. No, that is very cool. Thank you so much. If you'd like to be on the show, folks, we're going to be taping a lot of stuff this week too. We're heading out to we're actually heading out to Lake Mead this weekend. Yeah, we are. We're heading out to the lake. So, and that really sounds weird because I got earbuds in both ears. I might just have to take one of them out because I can't even hear a thing that I'm saying. So we're heading out to Lake Mead this weekend with one of our great friends, Glenn Frank from Frankly Good Coffee, and he's taking us out on the boat. So we'll bring a story out there from Lake Mead. We'll talk a little bit about Lake Mead here in just a second also, because there's a lot of things going on in Lake Mead. Once again, if you're on any of our platforms, you're on Facebook page, you're on YouTube, you're on Twitter or anything like that, definitely give us a shout out. Just say hello, how you doing, and I can actually see if you're out there, and we'd love to I'd love to converse with you in the morning. So let's start out with a great story, because I don't know how long we're going to be on this morning, but let's make one more announcement. Okay, one more announcement, and then we'll get going. Okay, we just started a new a new project that really I think you're going to enjoy, and it's called Vegas Livin Expos. And so Vegas Livin Expos is, and we've actually got a page up for this website, the whole thing. You can actually go to the website, okay, vegaslivinexpos.com, and check out that we're going to be making more announcements about that. We're actually starting some vendor events and some teaming up with Tina Marie Hepner, and she is just a goddess in the world of vendor expos, that kind of stuff. And so you'll be hearing more and more about that as we go on. It's just very cool stuff that we're working on. Okay, so be on the lookout for that for Vegas Livin Expos. All right. So, folks, one of the things that happened this weekend, we went to a really cool concert this weekend. So I know a lot of you went to EDC, and that was wonderful. You were out at the the Speedway, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We used to call it the Speed Drum when I was a kid. And 2 days, 3 days event, crazy, nutso. We went out to we were out at the Government Amphitheater, 500 Grand Central Parkway, right in the heart of town, right in the heart of downtown, and we were at Jazz in the Park. Oh, was that fun. I've been trying to get to that event for a long time. It's been around for 32 years, started by Michael Schiavo. Remember, some of you probably remember Michael Schiavo. Michael Schiavo Presents is what we used to go by. And so Michael Schiavo started this a long time ago, just kind of a jazz festival out on the other side of town, over on the west side of town. And finally it got down to the Government Amphitheater, and it's on a big, nice park area. I wish I would have brought some pictures with me. If you've been watching us on Facebook, you've seen some of the pictures. We posted it. My good friend Manny Rodriguez gave me tickets to it, which was fantastic. Thank you so much. Going again this weekend. So Jared Lawson was playing over the weekend. Place is packed out. Probably 1,500, 2,000 people there. And the cool thing about events like that is the people that were there all know the music. So they know jazz, they know soul, they know, bluegrass, so they know that kind of music. So the guy who's playing, the DJ who was playing, started playing, some song. I forgot whatever song it was. Everybody was singing the song. He turned down the music. Everybody's singing the song. And I guess he didn't think anybody knew the song. People kept singing the song because they knew the song. Falsettos, so fun. So we had a good time at Jazz in the Park this weekend. We'll be there again next week for, I got the thing up there, but I don't have the ticket over here. It's actually over there out of shot, so I'm not going to go get it. But we'll be there again next week, and it should be very, very cool. So for those of you who are Rebel fans, excuse me, this is actually my Rebel hat. This hat is so old, folks, that you can't see how dirty this hat is, but it's pretty disgusting. Anyways, I've had this hat forever. This was old UNLV hat. So I'm wearing it in in homage to the UNLV Hustlin' Rebels. Why? Because my Hustlin' Rebels won the Mountain West Division. Come on, baby. Woohoo! 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 Come on. I told you guys. Huh. The end of the season, just kicking butt, taking names. So, the Hustlin' Rebels earned the 2022 Mountain West regular season titles. Fourth time in program history, the Rebels have earned the regular season title. They won it in 2003, 5, and 14. And so, that was, I'll tell you, folks, this is going to be the year. The girls did great too. I think the girls didn't win their last game of the season, but the girls, our girls softball team, they did awesome. Um, Once again, if you're listening to this show, you're gonna get UNLV. There's just no way. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about you because I'm a UNLV guy. That's just kind of where I live and breathe UNLV. So, can't wait to. I'm gonna take my hat off though because it's gonna mess up my hair. Right? It's gonna mess up my hair. That's they did a great job. They really did. I'm very excited for them. And what are they gonna do next year? I don't know what they're gonna do next year. They're gonna be doing something really cool next year too. I think we actually dropped a game, San Diego State, over the weekend. So yeah. So our next game is actually today's today 21st. No, it was 22nd. So they already played the 21st game, but I think we're done. I think our season is done. I'll give you an update on this. So anything you want to find out about UNLV, updates and stuff like that, folks, just go to our website. We're going to be posting a lot more stuff because it really should. I rarely do anymore, but we probably should do that. So let's talk, well, in the last couple of minutes we've got before we break, and many of you know we don't do the entire show because a lot of people have got to go to work. They've got things to do. And so what we do is we play a lot of the show, and then we kind of, move on. So there was actually a fire this morning. There's a fire over on Sunset. And the fire over near Sunset, I believe it was in what park was that in? 2000 Business Park. It's on Eastern. And it's an old business park that's been over there for many, many years. About 1:30 this morning, they reported a fire over there. I believe a nail boutique and a nonprofit were fully engulfed. And so we'll get an update on that because I don't think they thought somebody might have been in the building, then they thought they weren't, that kind of stuff. And so, we'll keep our prayers, our eyes and ears open for that, and our prayers for those companies that are over there. Also, I got time for one more. Okay, I do have time for one more. We're gonna jump around just a little bit. The Las Vegas Aces. Okay, many of you know our girls. The Las Vegas Aces. There she is, Asia Wilson. We love us some Asia. Asia Wilson and the rest of the girls for the Las Vegas Aces, especially Kelsey Gray. Come on, girl. Kelsey Gray went off this weekend. She just went off. The Las Vegas, they exploded for a franchise record 38 points in the third quarter alone. That was Saturday. En route to 100-80 shellacking over the Phoenix Mercury. Oh no, this was a shellacking. I watched part of the game, and I couldn't watch the whole game, of course, but a shellacking of the Mercury. Now, the reason why this is so significant was that the Mercury beat the Aces last year to advance to the playoffs. Okay, and not very happy about that at all. And so it's always good when we beat a rival and just not just beat them, but humiliate them. That's kind of the way it is. Love watching the girls play. They've been doing a great job, and you can't ask for much more. I think their next game. When's their next game? We'll leave a. I think I've got a schedule for these girls. Playing tonight. Yeah, they're playing against the L.A. Sparks. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that'll be cool. They'll be at the Michelob Ultra Arena. Yeah, folks. Starts about 7 o'clock. And the tickets, I'll tell you, for the girls are still pretty cheap. Here, I'm going to double check on the price on the tickets for the girls because it really is very inexpensive. They're like $10. Okay. $10 for the cheap seats. All the way up to like $1,000. You can get $1,000 seat if you want. But I remember that when it was like $100 for the entire season. Season tickets for the girls were like $100. And now, no, you're not gonna do it. They're good. We'll leave a link to the tickets and everything else for the Los Angeles Sparks versus our Las Vegas Aces. They are just the hotness. They really are. Okay, I don't have time for another one. All right, so if you'd like to watch the rest of the show, folks, and I really appreciate everybody who's been able to stick around with us this far, but if you'd like to watch the entire show, just go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com. You can watch the entire show from start to finish. You can even download the audio from Spotify. Just Google Livin in Vegas podcast. It's been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of Livin in Vegas, think Livin Local. That's right, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas podcast. Bye-bye. Well, all right. Thank you so much, folks, for being a part of the show. This is Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome all of you folks who are able to make it over here to the website to watch the entire show. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, I want to thank you folks for hanging out. So many things that are going on in Vegas. They really are. In the last segment, we were just talking about, some of our local teams that are playing stuff. And the reason why we spend so much time talking about the local stuff that's going on here is because that's what we do. So we're a local broadcast, and we're doing some really great things for you. As a matter of fact, we just announced a very cool thing that we just started, and it's called Vegas Livin Expos. And Vegas Livin Expos, you're going to hear more and more about this as we go forward, because we'll be doing these, maybe not so much in the beginning. We'll kind of space them out every couple of months. But we eventually want to begin to do some expos to build business and to help business owners get back into working through Vegas Livin Expos. And teamed up with a good friend of mine named Tina Marie Hepner. And she's going to be doing some great things. Tina's literally she's a goddess. She's a networking goddess. They own a plumbing company and here locally. And so we're going to be doing some great things in the future. Let's talk about something really important here, folks. Many of you know we live in a really dry climate. And if you've got a pet, and then you've got, any kind of four-legged fur baby, that it is important that you know how to take care of that pet here in Las Vegas. This is no joke. I've seen people walk their fur babies, their animals, out here in 105-degree weather, and the dog or cat is they're dragging them. It's like a comedy. The dog, the cat's looking at him like, I cannot take it anymore. So, here's some tips. The Clark County Fire Department, other organizations have given you some guidelines on what to do with your animals as it gets hotter, because it is getting hotter. When it hits about 105 degrees, you're probably not even going to want to have your animal outside. There is a reason why you don't see many animals running around in the streets or out in the wild, even in Africa. They're generally underneath some kind of shade thing, so that until it cools off and then they come back out. Your animals are no different, okay? Please hydrate them. So always need to have water around them all the time. And not just, any old tap water. It needs to be cool water for them. Most dogs, and I heard this recently, their body temperatures, ours for humans, are 98.6. I hear most animals are closer to 103. Okay, which is significantly warmer than ours. So, which means they're going to get hotter quicker because they're already almost there. So their body internal temperature is pretty high anyways. They got fur on them. Hydration. Okay. Also, if you're going to walk your pet, okay, great hours you can do it. You can do it early in the morning or in the evening. Generally, don't do it during the day, okay, because it's really hot. And if you must have your animal outside during the day, put little booties on their paws. Okay, really, I know most people don't think about it, but your pet's paws are not bulletproof. They get hot, and you can see them. You can actually see the animal just kind of, they're hopping around. Here's a rule of thumb: if you can put the back of your hand on the pavement where your animal is going to walk for 30 seconds without having to lift it off, then you're all right. But if you have to bring your hand off, that's probably a good indication that that's not a good thing. Okay, so definitely, there's actually laws against it too, folks. There are actually laws against you keeping your dog outside without a fan, without some kind of way to keep those animals cool, and they'll fine you for it. They really will. So just please just be very very careful about your animals outside. Um, there is a what was oh there was a skaters. Okay, so let's do this story. Um, there's actually a group of skaters here in Las Vegas, and they're a figure skating community. And what they've done is they're actually doing and the reason why we want to do this is because they're actually having it today. I believe it's the 20. Oh, they just already had it. Crap. So they hosted a fundraiser. I'm so sorry, folks. We just ran out of time. Uh, they hosted a fundraiser May 21st for Ukraine. And so it's a small community of skaters. They really wanted to make sure everybody knew about this. Unfortunately, we couldn't have foresight into knowing they were going to do this, but we'll check back on them. We'll find out if how much money they raised, and love to find out what they're doing. And we actually have a lot of organizations raising money for Ukraine, so we want to definitely make sure that we give these organizations a shout out. The same thing with the Make a Wish Foundation. So the Make a Wish Foundation put together this young lady. Her name is I think it's Brandy. Um, yeah, Bailey. Excuse me. So Bailey was diagnosed with a heart condition, and since she was about 3 years of age, and one of the things that she wanted is she wanted to have a horse. I mean, since she was like 3 years old, and so the Make a Wish Foundation of Southern Nevada granted Bailey her own horse. Isn't that nice? I wonder if they're paying for it. I hope they are. That would be great. Wouldn't be? It'd be terrible if she got her a horse and said, "Okay, here's a horse." She can't take care of the horse. So we want to congratulate Bailey and really wish her good luck because it's just tough. It's just tough having any kind of disease that you know that plagues you. I mean, you just can't do it. Um, all right, so we'll get some bad news out of the way real quick. Okay, so Nevada ranks one of the worst for military retirees. Yeah, the online ranking, portal called Wallet Hub. Only one other state is actually worse than us, and that is Virginia. Uh, excuse me, yeah, Virginia. And the reason why Nevada um, ranks so low in our I don't know in if you want to retire here as a military guy is there's a couple of them. One is they look at the number of uh, people who are homeless here. So military people who are homeless here. That's one. And number two, the ability for a retired person to get a job. Okay, so they and because of those are the two biggest determining factors that put us where we're at. That they said Nevada ranks really very badly. Um, who else ranked behind us? Yeah, overall Virginia. I think Virginia was the top one. Okay, where the um, no, excuse me, Virginia was the top place if you want to retire as a military person, followed by Florida, Minnesota, Maryland, and New Hampshire. Okay, so out there on the East Coast. But here on the West Coast, the bottom five, Vermont, Nevada, and the District of Columbia, Oregon, and Washington. So it's amazing that on the West Coast, not so good for military folks to retire. And you would think we would actually have a better ranking because we have a couple of military bases here. We really do. So, but we have a lot of homeless vets here, and we also have our employment picture for people who are in the military, which tells you something very interesting. I'm just thinking about this, and many of you know, I was I founded the Black Business Chamber of Commerce. So my mind tends to think in terms of what kind of business. I don't look at somebody who I don't look at lack. I look at opportunity. So where there's not something, I look at that as an opportunity. Okay, so that's the way my mind works. If military guys who have military training, all that other stuff, are available, to me it sounds like an opportunity. I'm not going to say what it is, but I see an opportunity there. Okay, just saying. Let's pay one more bill, folks, and then we'll be back and we'll wrap up the show. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, and we're back, folks. It's Sherman Ray for the Livin in Vegas podcast. For those of you, this might be the first time you're joining us. I want to thank you, welcome you. We come to you Monday through Friday, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. I don't know how many of you heard about this, but Susie Lee, who's a congresswoman here in Las Vegas, just got word that she actually has COVID. Yeah, she's taken some time out because she has COVID, and I guess most of the time Susie is now, even though she lives here in Vegas, has been spending a lot of her time in D.C., so she says, hey, it looks like she's not going to be able to bike to work from her home in D.C. because she has COVID. So she's going to be taking some time off. And I'm really surprised. Nobody ever said anything about this here in Vegas the last 3 days, because she got it 3 days ago. So she's on her fourth day of COVID. We want to wish her the best. Hopefully she's all right. Speaking about COVID, the pandemic, the emergency declaration for the pandemic, has ended. It ended last week on Friday. This was actually the beginning of it right here, where the governor, this is Governor Steve Sisolak, and he was telling everybody to stay home for Nevada instead of home means Nevada. For those of you that might see that home means Nevada sign there, that's actually our state song. It's called Home Means Nevada, Home Means Hills. Okay, that kind of thing. So, but now the mask mandate, the pandemic declaration has been rescinded. It's done, and people are out, and that's probably the reason why we saw so many people out at Jazz in the Park, EDC, all these concerts that they're having. I mean, we've got stuff going on all over the place. Even though there was this last, I don't know, last wave of the pandemic is still running around. So we're doing good, folks. Be very, very careful. I just cannot reiterate that enough. Just be careful, play it safe, and do all you can. Wash your hands, that kind of stuff, the whole thing. And I think our whole place has changed. Anyways, we will be back again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. Folks, when you think of Livin in Vegas, think Livin Local. I'm Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. We'll see you again tomorrow for the Livin in Vegas podcast. Bye-bye.